Okay, time for some application work. So, a squirrel is 27 feet up in a tree, tosses an acorn out of the tree with an initial velocity of 6 feet per second. The height h of the acorn over time t is given by that equation. So, use this information to answer the following questions. What is the vertex? So, we actually want to find the coordinates of the vertex. Then after that, we want to say, what does it mean? So, first off, this is in standard form. So if we have a standard form, we want to find the A value, the B value, and the C value. Okay? To start with the vertex, we need to find the axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a. So this is x equals negative 6 over 2 times negative 16. Okay, so if I do that, x is going to equal negative 6 over negative 32, which simplifies. Decimals are going to be okay. So x is going to equal 0.1875. Okay, so that is the x coordinate. To find the y coordinate, I'm actually going to plug that into my equation. So negative 16. 0.1875 squared plus 6 parentheses 0.1875 plus 27. I'm going to plug that in straight into my calculator. And I'm going to get out 27.5625. So my vertex coordinates are 0.1875, comma 27.5625. The next question says, what does it mean? Well, if you remember, your vertex is your highest or your low point, your max or your minimum. And if a squirrel is tossing an acorn out of a tree, it's going to look like that. Okay? So, what this means is after a certain amount of time, specifically 0.1875 seconds, the acorn reaches its maximum height of 27.5625 feet. Okay? So that's what a vertex means in these application problems. It's always going to be the high point. Okay? And the x coordinate is time, the y coordinate is going to be the height. So after how many seconds will the acorn reach the ground? Well, that's going to be our x-intercept. Because think, if I'm in a tree, if I'm this squirrel and I toss an acorn out, eventually it's got to hit the ground. That's going to be an x-intercept. And we have to use our graphing calculators for that. So if I go to my app, I'm going to go to y equals, I'm going to clear out that function, negative 16x squared. I forgot it, 1 second. Negative 16x squared plus 6x plus 27. Plus 6x plus 27. So if I graph that, you'll see part of it's off the graph. That's fine. All right. All I'm worried about is the x-intercept that's on the positive side. So second trace, 0. Left bound. Well, I know 0 is to the left of that x-intercept. So I'm going to hit 0, enter. And then for a right bound, let's see. I'll just say I think 5 is clearly going to be to the right of it. And there is our 0 at 1.499981. So I'm going to say 1.5. That's close enough to 1.5. So after how many seconds? After 1.5 seconds, the acorn will hit the ground. All right, and I feel like I may have skipped past that application or on the graph calculator too much. Remember, it's the x sub 1 that we're looking at in the row that says zeros. So in order to do that, second trace down to 0, left bound, and since this is off the graph, that's when I wasn't dealing with that little spider indicator and using like the D-pad to move it around. Instead, I was just thinking, okay, the x-coordinate that we're looking for is the x-intercept on the right-hand side, the positive one. Well, 0 is clearly to the left of it, and 5 is clearly to the right of it, and then I was able to figure it out from there. Okay, so that's how I did that. All right, what is the starting height of the acorn? Well, starting height, that's going to be looking at the y-intercept, right? If that's the, hang on, fighting back. This is the end, and that's the beginning. The beginning is the y-intercept. And remember, the y-intercept in standard form is always going to be the c value. And the c value here was 27. So 27 feet was the starting height. Okay? So that's how you handle an application problem like that. In standard form, we had a bunch of those on some old worksheets. So if you need to go back to the Unit 8 folder in Schoology, do that and practice some more. Okay?